Hello, 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 hello. It's me. It's Miss Checka. I'm sorry I'm a little late today. Also, I'm sorry that it is so hot. How is anybody surviving in this like horrible, horrible, horrible heat? I also just noticed that the computer is not charging. So let me see if I can fix that before I completely disappear. Hold on just a second. Uh-oh, still not charging. I'm gonna fiddle with it a little bit, but if it's still not charging in like another 1%, I'm gonna have to move the whole computer and you will get a tour. Yes, Christian Alexander, this is the heat that Stanley Yelnats was digging in. This is Holes weather. This is, come on, little charging thing. There we go. Oh. Okay, so I already know who's going to yell at me. It's going to be Christian Alexander. But since we finished A Wrinkle in Time, today was supposed to be the day that we were going to talk about new books. And I forgot. So that's why I have the chat window open so we can talk about like new books to do and so I can get suggestions. But I don't have any physical books to show you. We're going to have to do that tomorrow. What we are going to do is take a little reading break and do some origami. So I'm going to tell you a story. And while I tell you a story, I need you to go in your house and get any piece of paper, just any piece of paper, any size, any piece of paper. Hopefully that has some kind of like straight sides. Have I ever read The Uglies? I have not. Christian Alexander, do you recommend it? Do you like it? I'm very curious about it because I know it's a series, right? Okay. Hang on a second. I think that is the laundry. Hold on. Okay. I'm having all kinds of technical difficulties. Okay. So I'm going to tell you this story while you are getting paper in your house. The story is that when I was a kid, we used to go to my abuelita's house all the time. But my abuelita lives in Mexico at the border. So she lives right at the border in northern Mexico. When I say like right at the border, I mean I could walk from her house to where the bridge was. And it's a really long drive. It's 8 hours from here to Welly's house because we call her Welly for abuelita. And my parents are like old school road tripping type people. So there was none of this like little bag of activities for my sister and me. None of that. My parents were like, you get in the car and you better have eaten and gone to the bathroom and done all this stuff because we are not going to get out of the car until we are like in Mexico. My dad does not do stops. He does not do the scenic route. None of that. So like if we had to stop for gas, that we would all run out of the car to go get stuff. So when I was a little kid, that was a really long drive. So one year, my tia Elsie, my mom's sister, as we're like in the driveway getting ready to go from Mexico back to Arlington, which is where I grew up, she hands me this envelope. And in the envelope was the instructions on how to make the little ranita. So rana in Spanish is it's a frog. My bilingual brain always wants to say that rana is rabbit because they sound alike, but it's not. Rana it's a frog. The words in English and Spanish just don't sound very much alike. And so she gave me an envelope, and in the envelope, she had all of the instructions on how to fold a little ranita. And when you press it, it jumps. And I was about 8 years old. So there's a very, very few written instructions. She just did every single stage of the origami thing. So when I got in the car, I could not do origami. And when I got out of the car, like 8 hours later, I had like a whole army of little Ranitas. So that is what I'm going to show you. All right. Hopefully that was enough time for everybody to have gotten a piece of paper in your house. So now we want to take your piece of paper. We're going to make it a square. Okay. So I'm actually super curious, Christian Alexander, if you are actually going to make a little origami with me, but it's a fun activity. Okay. So the way that you make a square, because a square is like the basic shape that you need your paper to be in order to do origami, is that we're going to, so this is like a rectangle. And I'm going to fold it like this. So here's my rectangle, and I'm going to fold it, and I'm going to make really sure that where I've folded it, this edge is lining up with each other. Okay. So I'm going to fold it, press it down really hard, and I want to have a nice sharp edge there. See? And then, so once I have this fold, now I'm going to fold this down right there. So like this. Like that. See? So once again, here's my rectangle. I folded it down like a triangle. And then I folded this rectangle that's sticking out. I'm folding that down. And this time I'm going to fold it like back and forth and back and forth and back and forth until I can rip it. So back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And now I'm gonna make like a little tiny rip like that. And then here, let me see. There we go. It's hard to do this without a surface, sorry. So now I have a square. Maybe you were lucky and you already had a square to start with, but if you didn't, now you have a square. So we have a square, we have a diagonal fold going this way. So now we're going to make a diagonal fold going the other way. So I'm going to take my opposite corners and make sure that they're lined up really nicely. And it's easier to do it on a hard surface. Like this. So now I have one nice sharp fold going this way and one nice sharp fold going the other way. You see? Okay, so there's kind of an X here. And this is the only kind of tricky fold that I'm going to do. I'm going to do it right now. So I'm going to see where there's the X and it's made of these triangles. I'm going to take the edge of one of the triangles and pinch it like this, and then fold it down like that. I'm going to undo it and do it again because this is the one that I think people have the most trouble with. Maybe an easier way to do that is when you have your X like that, is to fold it kind of hot dog style going the other way. Fold it like that. And that way you already have that nice fold there. And then, so here's my triangle and I'm pinching it on either side and going down like that. So now I have two triangles like this. Make sense? Okay. All right. So now I'm going to take this little corner and it's going to go up to the top like that. So that corner, I'm not taking both, I'm just taking one. to the top like that. And then I'm going to take the other side and it's going to go up to the top like that. And so now it looks like I have like a diamond inside the triangle. So now with my diamond, I'm going to take this outside corner and bend it to where it's that middle line right there. See? And then this side, and I'm going to bend it till it's in that middle line. So just to show you again, here's my triangle. Take one corner and I'm going to go up to the top corner. Take the other corner and I'm going to go up to the top corner. And then I'm going to take the outside corner and do it in, and the outside corner and do it in. This is the Ranita's tummy. Su pancita, right? Okay. Woo! I just knocked something over. All right, now I'm going to turn it around. I've got the other triangle, and now I'm going to kind of do an opposite fold. So I'm going to take this corner, and you can't see it, but there's kind of an invisible line that's going straight down the middle here, right? So I'm going to take this corner and I'm going to bend it so that we're going down this invisible line. And the way that I know that I've got it in the right spot is that when I turn it over, see how it's going right down the center line of the tummy, like that. So here we go. I'm going to take the other side, and it's going to go straight down the middle like that. And the way that I double check myself is that I turn him around and see he's lining up. Okay, I'm going to put this on a hard surface to do the creases real well. Okay, so here is the triangle for this side. And then I'm bending down to this invisible line and bending down to this invisible line like that. Okay, so now these are we're making his legs right now. Okay, so now I'm going to take this inside crease and put it to the outside like that. See? And I'm going to do the other side. So here is like the inside line. And then I'm doing it to the outside. I'm going to crease them real well, like this. Okay, I'm going to do this whole side again, just so you can see. So I started with the triangle. I went down to the middle line, down to the middle line, and then out to these kind of outside ones. All right, so now we have his piecitos, his little feet and his legs, and then we have his pancita, his little stomach. And now we're going to do a slightly tricky, but not really tricky. Okay, I'm going to fold him down. All right, so look at your little frog. And you see where his legs kind of start to jut out right about there? I'm going to fold him down there. And it's going to be kind of hard because you got a lot of folds there. Okay, so here he is. Okay, and then, oh, I did him kind of crookedy. That's okay. Like this. And then I'm going to take this bottom. Okay, so now he looks like this on one side and then like this on the other side, right? So now I'm going to take this bottom line and I'm going to fold it up to here, right like that. Like that. See? Okay. So if he's flat like this, And he's got kind of the leg side is facing away from me. And his tummy side is facing towards me. Then down, right about like that. And then I'm going to turn him over so you can see. And then up like that. See? Okay, so now he's got to jump. I'm looking for a surface here. I'll use my hand. Okay, you see how his butt kind of sticks up in the air? Well, if you press down and then let go, he jumps. So that is pretty fun. Here, let me make a surface here. Here we go. Here he is. And he just did some gymnastics there. Okay. Woo! And then the fun thing is you can decorate him. You can put him a little face. You can make him, have polka dots or whatever you want. All right. If anybody is in the chat box and needs help, tell me now. Or I want to know if anybody successfully did this, because you can also make a whole bunch of little frogs and then race them. But anyway, this little frog right here, I have made a million times in my life. When I was bored in school or listening, not just bored, but when I'm listening and I need to do something with my hands, I sit in the back and I make these. When I'm in a faculty meeting at work, I sit in the back and I make these. Whenever I'm waiting for something, like in a line at the store or on the subway, I make my little Ranita. So, nobody's saying anything in the chat box. So I don't know if y'all are stuck or you're just jumping your little Ranita everywhere. But anyway, I'm gonna take this recommendation about the uglies and read it for myself. I don't know if we're going to do Nerd Hangout with it because it's really big, isn't it? But I'm going to bring some books tomorrow. And also, if you have a book recommendation, put it there in the chat box of like either a book that you think is really good, that you want to read again, or a book that you've been meaning to read, but maybe it's too hard or too slow, or you think it would be fun to read together. Put it in the chat box or put it in the comments. Put it in the comments in the video and I'll read them and we'll talk about it tomorrow. Okay, guys, do not melt in this heat. Drink lots of water. Honestly, stay inside. Eat your fruits and vegetables. Don't dig any holes. It's too hot for it. Too many yellow spotted lizards. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.